Just when I thought I was done with guns, guess what happened in the news? More guns. Oh, buckle up, kids, and get ready for crazy, because we get to go down this rabbit hole once again. Look, if any of y'all just happen to be new to the channel or just watching the channel, you'll find out pretty quick that I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, I like Star Wars, Pokemon, but I'm also a Trump supporter and I'm a conservative. However, even I will come out and admit that Trump does some stuff that even I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm also a veteran, so I like guns, right? It comes with the territory. And when I hear the stuff about these guns, my mind is just blown. Like the double-barrel high-capacity magazine. Yeah, that was a thing, apparently. Anyway, to the video. So, Wal-Mart has came out and announced that they are going to stop the sale of handgun ammunition to help combat gun violence, because despite their reasoning I think is incredibly stupid, they do have one thing right. A lot of the gun violence or gun crimes in this nation is done by handguns. You see, the left-stream media, they want to freak out and flip shit every time that someone uses an AR-15 or an AK-47 to commit a massacre. Which, you know, it's still a massacre, you know, it's horrible. But they never talk about handguns. You know, handguns are the most common used gun when it comes to crime with guns. Why? Well, they're about yay big sometimes they're even smaller, and you can fit them in your pants, and most of the time no one notices. So, Walmart is walking a thin line, and they're also playing devil's advocate, mainly because they say they want to help fight gun violence by getting rid of handguns, handgun ammunition. Like, they're still going to sell them, but once the inventory's gone, it's gone. They don't plan to restock it anymore. But they also want to continue to keep hunting rifles, shotguns, long rifles, and I think maybe even those like very small 22s that they usually use to teach kids. And they still plan on carrying such ammunitions like as 65 Creedmoor, 308, 22, I'm sorry. I was thinking of 224. That they don't sell that anymore. And the thing is, they also have taken a stance and also said that they plan to send letters and recommendations to congressmen and the White House for common sense gun control. The problem with that statement is some people view common sense gun control as no one should be allowed an AR-15. It's a weapon of war, which it's not. And then you have these other people who are like, no one should own a gun at all. They kill people. See what I mean? It depends on what their definition of common sense is. This is not going to go well for a lot of gun owners with Walmart. If y'all remember, Dick's Sporting Goods stopped selling their AR-15s, their AK-47s, and ammunition. In fact, I go to my Dick's that's near me, and they don't sell 223 or 5.56 anymore. Now, they still, they sell the 5.56, but the thing is, it's like $200 because they only sell them in the big bulk cans that has like 500 rounds on them, and honestly, I'm not paying $200 for a can of ammo. That's just retarded and ridiculous, and yes, I use the term retarded because that's exactly what that is. But they got rid of 5.56, 223. Now, Walmart did the exact same thing a few years ago after one of the shootings. I think it was 2015. They also got rid of their AR-15s and carbines. Though in some of the more rural areas that I visited across the country, they still sell them. Mainly because they know they're the only real location nearby that can make good profit off them. I'll get in more to that later. Anyway, my hypothesis is, since Walmart did the same thing Dick's did with the AR-15, and now Walmart's taking a stand on getting rid of handgun ammunition, how long until Dick's does it? You get what I'm saying? Dick's is going to shoot themselves in the foot very heavily even more, because even though They claim that their profits have increased by 3% since they started the, their store-wide gun ban. Things have not been going well for them in other departments. And in fact, when I go to my Dick's in my local hometown, the town over, there's not much there anymore. There's not many really accessories. Like, there's not even any good holsters. But on top of banning the sale of ammunition for handguns, they're also becoming you can't open carry anymore in Walmart, because they want a safe and secure environment. Though the reality is, if someone has been proven, if they plan on going around and kill people, they're just gonna do it. They don't care what the signs or the rules are. Their intent to kill people, they're gonna do it. Ugh. Now, I don't know what this means for concealed carry. So far, they haven't talked about anything like that. But as of right now, they say no open carry allowed in Walmart. As for concealed carry, I don't know. I don't know. I guess it depends on the state. But anyway, so Walmart did that, and I fear it's going to be a domino effect to where it's just going to, all the other retailers are going to do it. Now, look, my hometown, I'm lucky. I have a Rural King. You know, I had a Walmart, but I also had a Rural King. And Rural King's where I buy most of my 9mm when I go out and practice. You know, look, I'm a soldier. As I've said, you know, I gotta practice, because those 1 or 2 times that we go to the range to shoot per year to qualify, that's not enough training. You get what I'm saying? You know, you gotta keep yourself sharp, right? Anyway, Rural King has no plans of getting rid of their guns or certain types of ammos, and honestly, that's probably smart for them right now, because where Walmart will lose sales, you know, with their handgun ammunition, Rural King will just pick it up. People will come to them. Now, why is this incredibly stupid? Because, one, you're going to lose profits. Alright, there's a lot of people who go to Walmart to buy guns and ammunition. Well, now you're getting rid of them. And the other reason it's foolish is because since they've taken the political stance and is enacting common sense gun control, there's going to be plenty of activists, plenty of very loud activists that are going to be sitting there saying, Walmart needs to do more, you just need to get rid of your guns completely, just become basically Target. And in fact, fun fact, Target used to sell guns, but that was so long ago. I forgot why they stopped carrying them. I can't fully remember, but they used to sell them so long ago. And I want you to think how many major retailer stores that you know that you can go into and you can buy guns. Now, I know there's, depending on your location, there might be some that are unique to your location. But, you know, here in Virginia, the only major retailers that sell guns is like a Walmart and a Rural King. And Rural Kings aren't as, you know, there's more Walmarts than there are Rural Kings. That's basically what I'm trying to say. But so, since Walmart gets rid of this ammunition, well, that's going to drive people to other locations. Which probably means more and more people are going to go and buy ammo from smaller gun stores, which some probably already do. But then I fear that if the Democrats get in power, they'll start enacting rules and like regulations to where smaller gun stores won't be able to keep up because they just won't have the funds to basically do what the government wants them to do. Look, in the end, it's a domino effect. The goal is eventually to get rid of all guns, right? I mean, that's the end goal. Will it happen? I don't know. I want y'all to look at Europe. The great Sargon Akkad has talked about this, and knife crime has increased. It has surpassed New York City, and there's now a Stop the Hates, Don't Carry a Knife campaign. Everyone has a right to defend themselves. You know, as I said, I'm a soldier, but when I'm not wearing a uniform, I have every right to defend myself even when I'm outside the uniform. Same thing with cops. Every American has a right to defend themselves, and we have these governments in Europe that are basically telling people to give up their their freedoms for a peaceful and secure society. And that is how democracy died, with thunderous applause. Anyway, they keep telling the people that if they keep doing this and they give up this, that, it's going to make everything better, everything's going to be alright, and, knife crime goes through, so you start banning it, and then you start going after blunt weapons, which is like hammers and such. I mean, it's just a never-ending lateral, just going down, down, down. Now, I want y'all to think about this for a second. We are not immune to another war. That is the truth. Many nations that their people have given up their guns, people always have used the excuse, oh, well, the military and the police force will protect us, so we don't need guns. Look at Venezuela, Brazil, Guatemala, Honduras, and a few other nations, and even China. They disarmed their people, and then they turned the military and the police on the people. And a disarmed people is much more easier to crush and quell and get under control than an armed people. And people who say people don't need guns, or we don't need weapons of war, or AR-15s, look, the Army has tanks. An AR-15 isn't going to do nothing to a tank, or even a Humvee with armor. I mean, what are we going to do? Have high-capacity, explosive, armor-piercing bullets? Those don't exist. But someone on the left will say they do. But the military has warships, tanks, aircraft, helicopter, rocket launchers, machine guns. And imagine if the government turns that against the people. How are we supposed to defend ourselves? Oh, well, we can't. We're just lambs for the slaughter. Now, I want y'all to take it a little bit a step further, alright? Stick with me now. What happens when the next major war breaks out? I said we are not immune to another world war. And for all the people who governments have disarmed them, once again, you sit there and think, oh, our military will protect us. They'll quash this enemy before it gets here. Well, guess what? During World War II, the French people thought the same thing. But Hitler absolutely devastated the French allies, and then absolutely devastated the French military. What are you, in modern day, what are we supposed to do then? We can't rely on the military and the police, and that's just the reality, because if a war breaks out and our military is overrun, and your police is scattered and broken, you have foreign invaders marching down your streets, and your government surrendering, what are you supposed to do then? Well, if you don't have the guns to fight back, you can't do anything. You're just conquered. You're pretty much the foreign nations or foreign invaders' territory. You are their property now, because they're going to choose what to do with you, because they conquered you. Things like this have happened in history before, and the same things will continue to happen. That's why I believe everyone should at least know how to use guns. Because there may come a time, Europe, Australia, or even in America, there may come a time where our military gets overrun, where our police is just pointless and our government just starts focusing on themselves than, the nation. It's just going to be us. It's just going to be the citizens that are going to have to continue on. Because if we get to a point like that, why would the government bother with the civilians, their citizens, when they could just save their own asses and make secret deals with the foreign conquerors so that they are protected and we're just slaves? Just think about that for a second. We are not immune to a dictatorship. We are not immune to another world war. We are not immune to any of these things. And we keep having retailers that are making it harder and harder for people to get guns and ammunition. And we have countless politicians that want to violate the Second Amendment, but also, I think it's the Fifth Amendment, that's to protect us from unlawful search and seizure. How much more, folks? How much more? Because I'm going to tell y'all right now, if we ever get to a point where our own military turns against us, or we have another foreign nation's army marching down our streets, are you just going to give up and surrender? Or would you pray to God that you had a gun to fight back? Think about that for a second.